Hey guys, and welcome back. This episode is going to be Can Games Be Good for Kids? My name is Nagi.
Cody Jitsu 316.
Let's get into this. Can games be good for kids?
Can it be good for kids? First things first, everything in moderation.
Yep.
Video games, sugar, everything.
Alcohol. They're not for kids.
Yeah, not for kids.
But yeah, all things in moderation is good.
You know, encourage them to play outside and do other things and socialize.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, when it comes to cognitive functions, can they be good for kids? Where this came about, I was in college at Liberty University. I was taking an East Asian civilization class, and my professor, he is a big World of Warcraft player. So we were talking about influencing in Asian culture, mostly Japan, China.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulls up Warcraft. Now he's got he has all of his character slots filled with maxed out characters. He's big into it. Now he's also a disabled guy, so he when he's not teaching, he has radiation effects from his dad when his dad went to World War II. So now he has a limp at like 40. But yeah, he's basically he got into it, and just how games affect people and affect kids. And he's going on about some statistics he's learned how games had taught kids about economics better than anything else in a standard public school system. Because, you know, sometimes, like, one of the things he did to get a lot of gold with each character, he would do all the leather work. Leather armor, leather bags. And people coming in, people starting new characters, he just, you know, bumped the price a little bit because he did all the work.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. He'd pretty much be maxed out on gold by the time level 10. And his crafting skill is obviously high at that point. And, you know, it taught him supply and demand, teach kids economics and how, you know, different team works if you're going to be certain types of tactics. And he was just talking about how, like, studies have shown kids tend to learn when the program, the software, and the game is done right, tend to have, you know, increased brain functions as opposed to people who don't play games. A couple of those things are, now this is just kids, but people in general, you have a little bit faster thought processing.
Right.
Which can come from when you're playing shooters and you're like, you see 5 people and you gotta decide, boom, 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 take them all out, get a kill streak. You're playing games like Dragon Age where you gotta put people here, people there. It can give you faster decision making and judgment calling. You know, deciding what to do here and there. And I kind of see it because I like to play, you know, more fast-paced games, but you have to do a lot of thinking. Like sometimes some MMOs, shooters. I played Realm of the Mad God. Holy crap! If you know what that game is, you know stuff like that. You do a lot of you decide who's the VIP. You go after them. How you deal with your money. What to spend it in. You know, it gives you a very small, simple crash course into budgeting and what's most important, how to save up for, you know, simple life skills.
Yeah.
You know, so that's 3 of the things that really can help kids. And a lot of people have said that when they're in college, like, you know, I'm going to stop playing games. A lot of their just like deciphering, you know, on multiple choice questions was kind of hindered because they kind of took out gaming, the one thing that helped them choose and, you know, process of elimination. You know, and so games can develop, help things with kids and people in general as well.
Yeah. It definitely helps your hand-eye coordination, the fine motor skills, the skills that allow you to your fingers to precisely move in such ways that allow you to control the game with a console or with keyboard and mouse. It can also help you learn how to use a keyboard if you're on PC. All very important skills now, where technology is rising so quickly in workplaces.
Yeah, like I said, keyboarding, if any type of office job, you gotta be rocking 60 words a minute. And you'll be doing that, especially when you're in rage mode. Especially when caps locks come on.
Rage typing it.
Yeah, you know. Be real good with that. Spending a lot of time with computers, with video games. A lot of times you have to do problem solving sometimes to get games to work a certain way because of this and that.
Yeah.
And you'll learn a bit of troubleshooting. Nagi is a lot better than me with computer troubleshooting. But for me, when I go out I'm at a business, somebody's having something a computer. You know, I know a little bit of this and that. They think I'm a daggone wizard. You know, just because I can Google more precisely than they can.
Yeah.
And just, you know, how to do, you know, start menu stuff and all that kind of junk.
Yeah. For gaming though, and really any kind of electronic, you know, computer use for kids in general, or for kids specifically, tablet gaming, especially any gaming with a touch screen, where all you're really doing is, well, touching the screen. Maybe you're just poking it or swiping the screen. That's really not, as far as, you know, motor skills or hand-eye coordination, it's really not helping kids develop those skills. And the screen itself for little kids, like 3-year-olds or you know, that toddler or
3 to 6.
3 to 6. Those ages, screens really affect the way their brains develop, and there are a lot of studies on this. But
and eyesight as well.
Yeah, but I've heard from researchers who have done some of these studies where they have seen children in like a library environment. You know, they're at a library. You're meant to go and read books, but they were doing some kind of craft, right? And they've got glue sticks and scissors and stuff like this, and they weren't able to open the glue stick. They could turn the page, but they couldn't open the glue stick. They didn't have the muscles in their hands. I guess they couldn't do it.
They're stuck to a cell phone and a tablet.
Yeah, they're stuck to a cell phone and tablet, and that's their entertainment all day. Instead of, you know, playing with kids outside, you know, throwing sticks at each other.
Playing with a
kids,
ball.
You know, even playing with a ball.
Yeah, they don't have no finger dexterity.
Yeah. All these games on tablets for little kids.
I mean, they can poke somebody in the eye like a beast, probably, but
yeah. And so it actually hinders the development in their brain when they're staring at screens for so long. Now, I can, in moderation, again, it can be good for the kids to learn how to use all this technology. I don't think the technology itself is bad in any way. I think it's good for them to learn it, but I think there's also times in children's lives where it would be a little bit more appropriate to learn some of those skills. Like maybe wait until the kid's like, I don't, 7 or 8 before they get on tablets.
Yeah.
Or any computers really at all. And maybe a little bit older than that before cell phones, in my opinion.
If you're really concerned about that stuff, I'd say, you know, laptop, computer, and consoles, you know, so that at least they have physical action to go with the mental.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they're learning the skills early on for what they'll need to know later.
Yeah. Alright, another part. One of the other things that games can provide for kids. Now, once again, this is moderation, and do be monitoring who they talk to, especially more in the Facebook world. But MMO games, massively multiplayer online games, shooter, RPG, whatever. One, it's a big thing in the disabled community. So 75% of all people with something that really keeps them home and keeps them chair-ridden or bed-ridden. Basically, you know, their outlet, you know, they can't play sports. They don't want to sit there and watch TV. You know, besides reading books and maybe crafting, like a big part of what they do is play video games. But also for your very introverted kids, or I guess outcasted kids, you know, both of them alike, it helps them learn how to socialize, at least through conversation and they meet a lot of friends. And like I mean, I've met people from Australia, and I learned what they tell me. England, one guy besides Nagi here who's been to England. I YouTubed a guy. We're both bass players, and he told me all different things about the weather in Wales and the Isles and whether they really big deal or whatnot, and like and the stuff he's done and food taste, and, you know. So they can, through interaction, when they actually try to interact. When I play MMOs, I don't really care. But some kids, they love it. And people, especially the disabled community, it helps them. It's their way of getting out into the world, you know, outside of their hometown. And it can be good for people in general.
Yeah. Just
to talk to people from different parts of the world and learn a little bit of geography and a little bit of just modern history of what's going on. Because I've met people in poor areas. And they tell me what's happening on their news stations, and then like I got talking with Australians about how are their spiders that big, and they're like, oh yeah, and just stuff like that. So you know that's definitely the plus side when it comes to interacting with people from across the world, which can be good for your typically shy, introverted kids.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I've met people online from Canada, different parts of the States, and Cuba. No, not Cuba. Guatemala.
Yeah.
I met you can meet people all over the world.
Yeah, I met a Korean guy one time, wanted me to teach him English. I didn't do it due to the time zone, but
right.
I mean, that's it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's bad side of games, but can be good games be good for kids? Yeah, like definitely. A lot of things can be good with their downsides as well.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of upsides, but as long, again, as it's in moderation and when it's appropriate for each kid, because each kid's gonna be different. So
yeah, and it's not as games aren't as bad as they make it sound.
Yeah,
so they can be little slugs if they sit there and do it all day.
Right.
All right.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Leave a comment if you have more thoughts about this topic or previous topics. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Peace.
See ya. The Uncanny Valley. It's basically the point in video games where they start to look incredibly realistic, but it's not quite at that level.
You're shooting, guys. That's all that matters.
I got the AT gun.